I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher, 33. And one of my five senses, the sense of touch, if you will, is saying it's a really cold fucking day that I'm filming this video. Cold fucking day in the simulation. But that's alright. It's not going to stop me from sharing one of my favorite Carl Jung quotes with you. And that quote goes a little something like this. Those that look out dream. Those that look in awaken. Let me say that again. Those that look out dream. Those that look in awaken. And there's many narratives about the nature of our reality and this perceived reality, what we perceive through our five senses, being an illusion or being a simulation, if you will. Again, the ancient Hindu philosophy looks at it as the Maya, the projection, the illusion, the dream of the gods. And then we have scientists of our modern day saying that we live in a simulation. There's a good chance that what we're perceiving as reality is a simulation. And the only way to see the truth, to see beyond the illusion, to see beyond the projected image or the projected experience of the senses, is to look where the Gospel of Luke says the kingdom of heaven lies, which is within us, not out there, but within us. And Carl Jung brought the esoteric knowledge, again, of multiple layers of consciousness to the masses. The idea of the unconscious, which is, again, it's in all esoteric teachings. This is what Carl Jung brought, the idea that there's an unconscious level in humanity that drives all of our conscious behavior, that overrides our conscious behavior and drives how we perceive the world and how we show up. And beyond that, it's a superconscious, a connection to something that is bigger than these individual fractals of perception. And those that go in, when one has the courage and the curiosity to go and look within themselves and look within their own programming, they start to see that they've taken on these perceptions that have shaped their identity, that they believe is who they are. But these perceptions and this information that's come in through the five senses, this is all just stuff that's gathered from their environment, from other people, from peers, from teachers, from parents. And then they look beyond, and as you start to get to know other people, you realize that they're just projecting, again, these projections, again, of information that they believe is their actual identity. And when you get below that, if you have the courage to dig in through that and look and ask why you do the things you do and why you show up the way you show up, and you see the programming and you start to dismantle at least the pieces that are causing suffering, maybe you find something else. Maybe you find what Carl Jung refers to as the superconscious and the original soul that's within you that wants to show up in a unique way, in a very special way in this world. And when we allow that soul to show up through us, and to connect again to our egos, these small selves. That's what I call an awakening. That's how I interpret this beautiful passage from Carl Jung. And there's talk of a great awakening in the world, that there are masses awakening, and I believe this is true to some extent. Again, I made videos again about information, light information coming in the year 2020 and opening up perception to many people on a level that's not been seen before. But ultimately, I believe awakening is an individual process. We all awaken in our own time. Some people don't awaken at all. Some people are not even open to these ideas. But when one has the courage again to look at themselves honestly and go within to the darkness of their own soul, go into the shadow, and do this work of dismantling the false self, of letting go of the false self, then you become a vessel essentially for that one true spirit to move through you. And when you are able to go and show up in the world and see through the Maya, see through the simulation, and show up in a more authentic way, then you become a conduit for awakening. When you can embody this sense of awakening, this sense of showing up authentically. Let's even use that, like awakening again. It's such a cliche nowadays, but let's just say showing up authentically, showing up in a way that Spirit wants to move through you. Then you become a living embodiment of possibility and a real human being, as I've said before. So I'm going to end this transmission. Be strong, be well. Now repeat that quote. Those that look out dream. Those that look in awaken. Be well, and I'll see you on the other side.